Hello friends, and welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. In today's video, we are going to set up my budget by paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom for the year 2025. So what we're going to do today is we are going to fill in all of the pages that happen at the beginning of the workbook. I've been making this video every year for the last several years. So if you are using a workbook, like a former version, this is the 2025 version. So if you're using a former version of the workbook, you might want to check out those videos. I have made a playlist exclusively with those videos, the annual budget setup videos on there. So definitely want to check that out. Okay guys, let's jump in. First of all, she used to have really thorough directions on how to do all of this, how to use the workbook completely. And she doesn't have that anymore. Instead, what she has is a barcode that you can scan and it will take you to those directions. Instead of all the directions being printed here in the workbook, you can go there. So I'm going to explain everything to you today, but if you're confused by any part of it, or if you want to see how she explains it, then go ahead and check that out. Okay, so let's start with finding your why. Why are you on this financial journey? Why do you want to get better with your money? And then down here, it says basically like, go further. Don't just say you want to pay off debt, explain why you want to pay off debt. So I've thought about this and I came up with my answer and I'm going to share it with you now. I printed it out and I was going to just do it on regular paper and then glue it in here, but I actually have sticker paper, so I went ahead and printed it on sticker paper. So let's go over my why. Why am I on this financial journey? So first of all, I want financial freedom. I want to live in a home away from my ex-husband. And what I mean by that is it doesn't necessarily have to be a home that I own. It could be a home that I rent. It could be a mobile home that I've purchased. It could be an apartment. I just want to live on my own away from my ex-husband. I want to be debt-free so that I have more options in life. I want to have the option to work for myself and not an employer. So if you're just joining me for the first time, I am a retired teacher. I was a teacher for 20 years. I retired about 4 years ago, and I did Etsy and YouTube full-time for 4 years, and I just recently went back to work. So I'm working full-time and I'm still doing Etsy and YouTube, and I want to get back to the place where I have the option to work for myself doing Etsy and YouTube. That's one of my goals. I want the freedom to travel, explore, and enjoy life on my own terms. These are just things that I've always had a passion for and always wanted to do, but I didn't when I was married for various reasons. And I'm 47 and I'm tired of waiting to live my life. I want to start living my life now. And then finally, I don't want to be a financial burden to my kids when I am older. So I want to take the steps to be financially free right now so that when I'm older, my kids won't have the burden of having to take care of me. Oh, this was pretty heavy, you guys. Heavy. I got kind of teary while I was making this list for myself, but these are all of the reasons why I'm on this financial journey. So coming down here to my why, my big why, like these are all my reasons why, but the absolute biggest why right now is I want my own home. So I'm going to put that there. And I thought just to make it really fun, I printed off this picture. This is a picture, so in case you're new, my parents live in Michigan. I currently live in Iowa. My goal is to make it to Michigan by June. It's to sell my house I'm currently living in with my ex and move to Michigan in June. This is the house that my parents are actually putting an offer on today. And if they get it, they're going to rent it to me. So it'll be a rental property for them and it will be my rental home. So this is just, I'm not saying like this is the house I'm going to get. This is just a visual representation of my goal, whether it's this house or an apartment or some other type of home or living situation. This is my ultimate goal right now. This is my big why right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put all these stickers down and then we'll go over these questions together.
Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things.
Oh my goodness, you guys. I absolutely love the way this is looking. Okay, so let's go over these questions for my big why for this year. Does your why evoke emotion? Absolutely. Like I said, I was actually in tears this morning getting this list ready for myself. Does your why affect other people that love you? Yes, it affects my sons. I have 2 sons. It affects both of them. I have a 22-year-old who will be staying behind in Iowa. He's a college student, so he'll be staying here and finishing college. I have a 13-year-old, almost 14-year-old that will be moving with me away from his father, so that's a huge effect on him. And it's going to affect my parents who live in Michigan. I get to be closer to them, so it affects a lot of people that I love. Is your why visual? Absolutely. There's my visual. And is your why specific and clear? Yes, I want my own home, which is different from owning my own home. I don't want to own my own home. I want my own place to live away from my ex-husband. That is my big why. And I want to accomplish this goal by June. I feel like that's very specific and very clear. So yes. Okay, I thought this was really interesting. I'm just going to quickly read this to you. She says that your why should be something so important to you, thinking or talking about it makes you emotional. It needs to light a fire under you, and it should be something you don't want to live without. Your why should remind you every step of the way that giving up is no longer an option. Use the lines above to write down your why. Remember, it's okay if your why changes along the way. Okay, so here is my why. Let's move on to this next page, the financial plan goal worksheet. So starting with my short-term goals, here are the things I need to accomplish within 1 year to get to my why goal of moving to Michigan. I need to make house repairs to sell the current house that I'm living in. I believe it's going to cost a total of $5,000. Half of this is going to new carpet, and then the other half is going to all the other repairs that need to be done to the house before I can sell it. My plan, I've already met with my real estate agent. She gave me a list of house repairs to do. That's where I came up with this amount. And I actually have already gone in to the carpet company and set that up, so that's why I know how much the carpet's going to cost. And with my real estate agent, we decided to put the house on the market in April with the goal of me getting out of the house by June. So we're going to put the house on the market. Hopefully it will sell, we do all the paperwork, and I can start moving in June. I'm going to have moving expenses. I really think it's going to be more like $3,000 of moving expenses, but I overestimated because things always end up costing more than what I think they're going to cost. And then I want to pay off all of my debt so that when I move to Michigan in June, I'm completely debt free. So you might be wondering where I'm going to get the money to pay for these things. For the house repairs to sell the house, I'm going to be using my side hustle income, which is from Patreon, Etsy, and YouTube. So all of my profit that I make over the next few months, is it 4 months until April? All of my profit is going to be going towards this goal of making repairs to the house to sell the house. Then, once I sell the house, I'll have the money for my moving expenses and paying off debt. Hopefully. if we're able to sell the house for what I think we'll be able to sell it for. Okay, moving down here to goals within 5 years and goals within 10 or 15 years. These are where I can hit my other goals of coming back to my why. The things I'm going to accomplish this year, hopefully, fingers crossed, is I want to live in a home away from my ex-husband. I want to be debt-free so that I have more options in life. I want to have the option to work for myself and not an employer. So those are the 3 things that I'm thinking are going to happen this year, so within a year. And then those 5 to 10 year goals are these. I want the freedom to travel, explore, and enjoy life on my own terms. And I don't want to be a financial burden to my kids when I'm older. So these are my longer term goals. But the thing is, I was thinking about those today, like the goal, the estimated cost, and the target date, and I'm just not ready to set that information down. I want to get to Michigan. I want to get my new job and start life in Michigan before I set these goals. So I'm going to leave those blank for now. Okay, so the next page is for memberships and subscriptions as a reminder worksheet. So I have 3 this year. The first one is Amazon Prime, which is due on January 1st. And this is my Amazon Prime membership. Now, they have a plan where you can just pay month to month, but if you pay it once a year as an annual cost, you will save money. It's $139 for the annual cost. And if I'm putting money aside month to month for that, what would that be? Let me grab a calculator. 139 divided by 12 is $11.58. And I'm going to be putting money in a cash envelope, so I'm going to round up so I don't have to worry about coins. So I'm going to put $12 a month into a cash envelope for that bill. Where if I was to pay it month to month, I just looked it up this morning, it would be I think it's like 15 something, like almost $15.99. It's almost like $16 a month. So that's going to save me $4 a month over the year. Will save me $48 total for the year. So that's why I'm going to do it that way instead of doing it month to month. Okay, so I have a subscription to Netflix, and I looked it up today and I didn't see an annual option, so I am doing month to month. So over here, I'm just going to write monthly. So every month I have to make this payment, and I have I think it's called the standard plan. I don't have like the premium one. I don't have the one with commercials, but I don't have the expensive one either. I'm the one in the middle, the just right one. And it's $15.49 a month, but I round up to $16 a month for budgeting. The way I set up my budget is I round my bills up to the next dollar amount and my income down to the previous dollar amount. It's just, that's the way the budget mom does it, and I find it easier to do it that way and not have to worry about the change or the coins. It just makes life easier and the math easier. So $16 a month times 12 will give me my annual amount. So annually I am spending $192 on Netflix. Okay, and then the next subscription I have, it's a monthly cost again, so it doesn't have an annual option, and it's for a homeschool program that I use for my youngest son, Logan. It's called Power Homeschool, and he does language arts, math, science, and social studies through them, and that is $32 a month. So it's $32 a month, but I only use it for 10 months out of the year, so that's $320 for the year. Okay, so that's it for my memberships and subscriptions. Let's move on to savings goals. So she used to have a sheet where you could calculate your savings goals for the year. That sheet is gone. So I have not scanned this, but I assume if you scan it, you could see that worksheet still. Which might be helpful for you. And then she left this. I've always found this page to be kind of not helpful personally. I would rather just have that page where it says, you know, here's my savings goal, here's how much I want to spend, how much I need to save each month. That just makes more sense to me than this, but I'm going to go with it. So my first savings goal for the year is I want to save money each month for birthdays. Okay, some of my savings goals are sinking funds, and some of them are actually bills that need to get paid. So I'm just going to make a note of what kind of savings it is. This is a sinking fund. And the reason why it's a sinking fund versus a bill is a bill has to be paid. Sinking funds are optional. If I don't save this money, nobody gets hurt. It's not mandatory. So my goal is to save $20 a month for birthdays into a cash envelope, and then as birthdays come up throughout the year, I can take money out of the cash envelope. Okay, my next goal is Christmas. This is also a sinking fund and not a bill. So if it doesn't happen, it's okay. Life will go on. My goal is to save $50 a month for this, and then at the time of Christmas, I will have $600 saved. Okay. Moving on to car registration. Now this is a bill. This is something that has to be paid. I am going to put, it's still a sinking fund, but it's also a bill. It's a bill because it has to be paid, but it's a sinking fund because I'm going to set aside a little bit of money each month for that bill, so that when that bill comes up, it's not going to be painful. It'll be an easy bill for me to pay because I've been saving a little bit each month. What I need to pay for my car registration is $313. So what that comes to is $26 a month. And these will be actual physical cash envelopes that I save. I've tried doing this where I just put the money into a savings account. It just doesn't work for me. I need to have the actual physical cash envelopes. So I haven't done cash envelopes for a few months, but I'm going to get back into it starting in December. So I hope you guys will subscribe and come back and watch those videos where I stuff those cash envelopes. Okay, my next savings goal is for Amazon Prime. Now, if I was paying for Amazon Prime month to month, I wouldn't need to have a savings goal. But since I'm going to make one large payment each year in January, I'm going to pay it. I'm going to save a little bit each month for that. So this is a bill, but it's also a sinking fund. Okay, so what I need to set aside each month for my Amazon bill is $12. And then when it comes time to pay my Amazon bill of $139, I should have plenty enough money to do that. Okay, and then I have one more savings goal this year, and that is for my dog, Mork. This is mostly for just one annual vet visit, but I can also use the money throughout the year if I need to, if things come up, like vet-wise. It's basically Mork Vet. I'm going to do that, Mork/vet. So it doesn't include like his food and treats and toys. That's not what this is. This is for vet visits. So I'm going to budget an annual amount of $500 that I'm going to be spending on Mork's vet bills, and that comes to $42 a month. Because this is something that has to happen, I'm going to consider it a bill. So I'm going to put the money in an envelope. That's why it's a sinking fund, but it is a bill because it has to be paid. Okay, so that's it for my savings goals. Let's move over here to yearly spending overview. So at the top, starting in January, I'll put my earned income, the other income that I have, and the savings that I used each month. And then I can track it over the year. This is a really cool page. Okay, friends, sorry, I was interrupted by my son, but I am back. And we were talking about the yearly spending overview, and I need to set up the expense categories right now. So my expense categories are debts, bills. For me, the difference between a debt and a bill is a debt is something that is going to be paid off, such as my mortgage, and a bill is something that will always exist. Even after I retire, I'll always have to pay it as long as I want that service. For example, a cell phone bill will always exist as long as I want cell service. Food, gas. This is gas for my car. Miscellaneous. These are for expenses that don't fit into other budget categories that I've set up that come up throughout the year. Logan allowance. This is allowance for my youngest son. Entertainment and savings or sinking funds. So every month I will come in here, I'll write the total for each of these budget categories, and then I'll add them all together and I'll have my total expenses. And then I can do that throughout the year and compare each month. Down here is the yearly balance overview, where I can track my savings balance, my debt balance, my retirement balance, and my net worth. So this first page is January through May, and then the next page is June through December, and then the total. Okay, so here is the budget category organizer, where you can organize your budget categories. So let's start with debts. So for me, my current debts are mortgage, loan number 2, doctor, that's for my family doctor, and hospital. When I sell my house in the spring, early summer, all of these will be paid off. At least that's the goal. I do organize each budget category by color, and I'll share that with you at the end after I've filled in this page. Next is bills, and right now my bills include garbage, internet, cell phone, my auto lease, water and electricity. They're paid together, that's why I write them together, and gas for my house. The next category I have is food, and in this category I'm going to include groceries and eating out. This is eating out like during the week when I would normally be eating a meal that I prepared at home, and not eating out for entertainment. Sometimes I eat out with my youngest son, Logan. We do something called Fun Friday, and we might go out to eat. Sometimes I get together with friends and we eat out, and that's going to be those two will be covered in my entertainment category. So this is eating out that happens during the work week. You can organize your structure of budget categories that works best for you. For the longest time, I only had groceries in this category, and I didn't have eating out as an option in this category. So you do what works best for you. Next is gas, and this is gas for my car. Next is Logan, and this is for his monthly allowance. Next is entertainment, and this is friends and family. So this is for if I'm hanging out with my friends or if I'm hanging out with family and we're doing something special, that's what this budget category is for. Then finally, I have my savings, or also known as sinking funds. And this year, that's going to be birthdays, Christmas, car registration, which is a sinking fund, but it's also a bill because it has to get paid, where birthdays and Christmas don't necessarily have to be paid. It is a variable expense that could be skipped. Amazon Prime is the same way. It's a sinking fund, but it's also a bill. And then Mork Vet for his annual vet visit. That reminds me, up here for bills, I have two more I forgot about. Netflix and Power Homeschool. Okay, and then finally, my last category is miscellaneous. And this is for any item or anything that I purchase throughout the year that doesn't fit into one of these other categories. This is usually things that I pick up at Target, like prescription medications, vitamins, beauty products, cleaning products. Also, when I get my hair cut, I get my hair cut once every 8 weeks. That's a miscellaneous expense. So under Target, I'm gonna put beauty, health, and cleaning. And then I'm also going to put haircuts. And there might be other expenses that come up through the year that I can't think of at this moment that will fit in this category. Okay, it's time for me to color code this. I ordered this from Amazon, this set of highlighters, and then I've labeled it myself. So my debt category is pink. My bills are purple. My food is blue. Gas for my car is green. Miscellaneous is yellow. Logan is orange. Entertainment is red. I need to make a new label here for entertainment. I used to do savings challenges with red. Let me go ahead and make that right now. I got this handy little tool from Amazon as well. I do have an Amazon storefront, which I'll link below, but it's just for you guys to find these items more easily, but it's connected to my ex-husband's Amazon account because my Amazon account isn't starting until January 1st. But anyways, if you want to make it easier to find these items, you can just follow that link. I will eventually be getting my own Amazon storefront set up with my account, but that's something that's going to be happening in the future. Okay, there's entertainment. And then dark blue has always been for sinking funds or savings, so I don't need to change that. Okay, so those are my budget categories. Let me show you what it looks like in use, the budget categories. This is what it looks like as I use them throughout the month. And these are the always available budget category stickers that are in my shop. And I just introduced a new one called the thin always available. So when I set up my December monthly spread, I'm going to be going with the thin ones. They're thinner this way, and they have a larger check box, so you can either use it as a check or you can use it as a date. I always like to write the date that things came out, so I made the box bigger so I can fit the date inside there. So I'm going to be using these when I set up my December budget, as I said. I have all these nice new sheets. Also, I'll be using this sticker kit to set up my December budget. So if you guys want to see my December budget setup, that is going to be coming in my next video, which hopefully, fingers crossed, will be coming out tomorrow. So I hope you'll come back tomorrow and check that out. We're going to label all of these, get the December budget set up, and all of my budget categories set up as well. Okay, friends, that is it for this year's budget planner setup. I'm so excited for this year. I have many things happening, many goals that are going to be accomplished this year. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, I hope you will join me. I do weekly budget check-ins. I also do vlogs where I show you behind the scenes of my Etsy shop and my side hustles when I do side hustle budget updates. So I have a lot going on, and I would love to share that all with you. So please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And I hope to see you guys again next time. Bye, everyone.
those stickers placed. Peel away, peel away, peel away with life in envelopes. Plan your days, plan your days, plan your days. Get those stickers placed.